I am continuing to practice in-hand work with Dynamico, the ever-patient Andalusian stallion. Here, I am trying to perfect shoulder 4 to the track. I have to be careful to not repeat this exercise too many times, or Dynamico will get frustrated. Even though I am learning, it isn't fair to make him do the exercises repeatedly. Like all intelligent horses, Dynamico knows who is handling him, and he was being a bit sluggish with me because, well, he could. So Chantel told me to get his energy and responsiveness up before I asked again. Though it looks like and is a simple exercise, while learning it, it's hard to keep all the pieces together each time. I am fortunate to have Chantel's incredible eye while I am lunging. As I practice different exercises, she tells me how they went and how I can improve upon them. I really enjoy having her help. I chose to play with the bamboo cane today because I haven't done much of that lately. After Dynamico warmed up a bit, I wanted to play with tapping his legs to see what I'd get. I am learning to tap the legs evenly and lightly because this exercise is good for so many things, such as getting a little more activity from the horse, or it can help a horse that is in rehab gain more range of motion and strength. With Dynamico, it's a challenge for me to keep a good contact. Like most horses, each side is different, so handling him the same on both sides won't work. To the right, I have to be careful not to overbend him or let him flex out. I keep joking that it's a Goldilocks problem. Not too much, not too little, but that is exactly what it is. After the canter, it's important to get a good quality trot before giving the horse a break and walking. Here, I left Dynamico a little high in the head and neck when I asked him for walk. It's good to keep aware of these things. That's why video is so nice to review. Here, I tap the inside hind foot as Dynamico brings it forward to get a little more step out of him. To keep balanced, you do everything to the left that you do to the right. This also makes the horse comfortable with what is being asked of him. He knows what's coming because he just did it going the other way. Again with tapping the legs, I am learning to tap each leg individually. You can see I do get a couple of strides evenly before I miss the timing a bit. Currently, this is the most frustrating thing for me, flexion left and right in hand. I'm going to show you how not to do it, followed by, hopefully, a more correct way of doing it. Chantel said this was a great example of wrong. The lines were okay, the turns were a bit tight, and the horse stayed flexed to the left the entire time. I am just too far back on his left side to get my hand out in front of him enough to create a right flexion. So this time I got out in front where I could actually ask correctly for the right flexion. Now because I had done it incorrectly a couple of times, Chantel said I needed to get a couple of good right flexions before switching and going left again. Dynamico has also figured out how to avoid doing what I asked, so I had to slow him down and ask him to give me the right flexion. This goes back to something I heard Manolo say the other day. You have to know when the horse doesn't understand and when they do understand and are just avoiding the work. I know Dynamico knows what I'm asking, so I can insist that he do it. Today was a lovely sunny day, and bath day for Dynamico. But first, work. I got him going around the arena with a good walk, then a small circle, and I brought him in closer so that I could prepare to practice shoulder forward to the track. Now this is where Chantel started laughing at me. I didn't find out why until afterwards. I guess in my total focus on getting the exercise correct, I danced my way over to the track. Oh well, I got the exercise more correct, dancing included. As I go over these videos, I realize how easy it is to slip into comfortable patterns. But doing the same thing over and over leads to stiffness and no development in the horse. There are so many things to keep track of while lunging. Whoever thought it was just sending the horse around in a circle at 3 different paces was sorely mistaken. So, in order to not allow any horse to get stiff, I have to remind myself to try new things and keep testing the horse, seeing where he is, how much he can do, and what works best. I have been very fortunate to be allowed to experiment and play with Dynamico. All great trainers will tell you they discovered the most when they were just experimenting and playing with their horses. I try to be creative when I lunge. As I mentioned earlier, there are 900 things to keep track of. One of those is design. Where to put a smaller circle, where to ask for the canter, or when and where to let the horse out on the circle. And how do you do all of that? Here, I do a trot down the long side, then a medium-sized circle, and then trotted back down the long side again. It felt nice, it was fluid, and I didn't lose contact with the horse very much. There are definitely better places to ask for things so that it gives the horse the best chance of doing it correctly. For example, Manolo likes to ask for the canter when the horse is coming onto the rail. This way, the horse has over half the circle supported by the rail. If the horse is having any problems, it's a good way to support both him and you while he settles into the canter. All training has to be done in the context of what happened the day or week or weeks before. You have to adjust what you ask and how you ask based on how the horse is going that day and based on what has been happening on previous days. Just the day before, when I lunged Dynamico, he would not give me the flexion to the right. He kept coming in on the circle. I tried several things to correct this. First, I tried to push him out. No go. He would go out a little bit and then start running, still with no flexion. Then I tried just asking him to go forward more. Still didn't work. He would just run out of balance and still had no flexion. So, running out of ideas, I drew him in close to me and, using the whip, got him to flex to the right. I even got him a bit overflexed. I did that just for a couple of small circles, making sure he was flexed to the right and light. Then I sent him back out. He was better, but still not great. So I repeated the exercise, brought him in, overflexed a little bit to the right, then sent him back out. Then he gave it to me, a nice flexion to the right with contact. So, today, based on what he did yesterday, I started out to the right with a little circle to the right, making sure I had that right flexion before sending him out. And today he was fine. Each day the horse is new. What he needed yesterday, he may not need today. So I'm not working on his flexion to the right. He is giving it to me, so I will leave it alone. So, here we enter the realm of the art of feel, that elusive thing we all chase. Feel is knowing what the horse needs, how much of it, and when.
Capo cerco entró, then I walk and feel stay not for too long, a little bit, then I trot again, that way I remind him to keep active. Why he not realize it, that's not too much to ask, as long as you ask with common sense and nice, keeping the routine moving from not rushing. That's why he get active, more spontaneous. Because he throw too much, walk too much, where the transition going? If he do a transition too much on purpose, why so many? It's a combination. Good transition, no lies, active.
I learned a very important distinction here when reviewing this video with Manolo. I have only really done work with young horses, not really very many advanced horses. So here, I ask Dynamico for a halt the way I'd ask a young horse, stopping him from the front, head and neck low.
Hold all the time with the whip, with the bamboo behind, that's why he get a little big in front. He try to bring the back leg underneath the body.
Okay.
And you keep apart then. You never go in front and stop. That's young horses, yes.
Dynamico knows more. He knows how to bring his hind end under him. So in fact, I should stop him more from the side or behind, making sure he brings his hind end under him when he stops. If you've ever seen Manolo's horses, you'll know they are impossibly clean. That would be the expert work of assistant trainer Chantel Matthews. I am merely learning her art. And, like most Spanish horses, Dynamico has acres of hair that needs a good scrubbing. And now for the patented Chantel tail spin dry maneuver. Then, once he's all clean and shiny, it's out into the sun for some grass.